Today we are making the ultimate St. Patrick's Day hangover cure, a proper full Irish breakfast. And trust me, if you had a few too many pints, this is exactly what you need. Let's start with 250 grams or 2 cups of grated potato. So once they're grated, grab a clean kitchen towel or cheesecloth, wrap them up and squeeze out as much liquid as you can. Some people like to use just grated potatoes, but in some parts of Ireland, they mix it with 250 grams or 2 cups of mashed potato for a softer, creamier texture inside while still getting that crispy outside. To that, we're mixing in 80 grams or half a cup of all-purpose flour, half a teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of baking powder. Then we're tossing in 1 egg yolk. Now we're going to add in half a cup of milk, but don't dump it in all at once. Start with about half and then mix and add more as needed to get a nice wet batter. You want it to be thick but still spreadable. Kind of like this right here. It's loose but it holds its shape. Now heat a non-stick pan over medium heat, add a little bit of butter and a splash of oil, then drop in small scoops of the batter. Flatten them slightly and cook for about 3 to 4 minutes per side until golden and crispy. You want them relatively thin so they cook all the way through. Once they're done, pop them onto a plate or tray, keep them warm, and let's move on. Place the skillet to medium heat, then add in a drop of oil. Then fry up 4 to 6 bacon rashers or normal bacon, then move them to a tray and keep them warm. Next, 6 Irish-style sausages, or as many as you want to eat. They don't have to be Irish, use what you have. Cook them until brown and cook through, then place your sausages on the same tray as your bacon. Add a bit more oil to the pan and add a few rounds of black pudding, and if you have it, a few rounds of white pudding. Fry them for about 2 minutes per side until crispy on the outside. Once your puddings are heated up and crispy, remove them from the pan and place them with the bacon and sausage. Now, using the same pan, because we're keeping all that flavor from the meats, goes in a knob of butter and some oil. Then toss in 1 cup of mushrooms and a pinch of salt. And if you got some fresh thyme, toss that in as well. Now let those mushrooms cook down until those flavors are concentrated and nice and browned. Push the mushrooms to one side of the pan and add a bit more oil. Cut the tomato in half and place it cut side down for about 2 to 3 minutes until it gets a nice sear and softens up. I mean, with all this meat cooking, we need some veg to balance things out. I mean, that's how it works, right? Start with a non-stick pan over low heat. Toss in a good knob of butter and gently cracking your eggs. Don't touch them, let them cook until the whites start setting. Then tilt the pan slightly to gather the butter to one side. Now, we're not going to flip these eggs, we're actually going to baste them with the butter. Take a spoon and start basting the hot melted butter over the eggs. After about 30 seconds of basting, your eggs are set and your yolks are still runny. Place the eggs on a plate and season with some salt and garnish with some fresh chives. Then add our crispy boxty, our sausages, bacon, black puddings and white puddings, tomatoes and mushrooms. Plus, don't forget a couple slices of toasted soda bread or brown bread for dipping your eggs. And of course, a strong Irish tea or coffee to fix whatever happened last night. Or if you want to keep the party going, another Guinness also goes well with this. I'm a Newfoundlander with strong Irish roots, and in Newfoundland we do things a little bit different. So I'm throwing in a couple slices of fried bologna, also known as Newfie steak. Now you got yourself an Irish Newfoundland breakfast, something very similar to what I grew up on as a child.